Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Hot Takes with Matt and Hot Sauce. Quick turnaround time here, and we have very exciting news to share with you. Kalvin, I'll let you share that news.
Yes, sir. So we're back in action in a regular boxing, not TBL boxing, but regular boxing. September 12th at the Downstream Casino. It's going to be a big event. It's going to be a double main event. Fight for titles. I'm ready to get back to it, laying hands over time, man. I can't wait for it. My buddy Brian Jones, the Violent Gentleman, is promoting the card, and so it's going to be a really big deal. Double headliner, double main event. Don't want to miss it. This will be a sold-out event, so don't wait. Get your tickets ASAP.
Awesome. And that is coming up soon, and also something that's very exciting is tomorrow you're going to be able to work out again. How are you feeling?
Man, you got a good calendar, man, because it's been a countdown every day.
Yes,
and I ain't going to lie, man, I've been cheating a little bit, man. I've been doing a little bit of working out leading up to it, you know what I mean? So yesterday I did 100 push-ups total, but it was 80 incline push-ups and 20 regular push-ups. Today I did 50 incline and 50 regular, so I'm going to just keep little by little, you know what I mean, breaking it down, listen to my body and stuff like that. But really good, man. Another point about stacking, Boots versus Xander, man. He stacked that ass whooping this past Saturday, man. And it's crazy because that's Boots. Everybody was down in Boots because it's at 154. It's his first big fight at 154. Xander been there most of his career already. Was already a world champion at this weight. People were saying how much Xander was bigger than him and how he would make this fight tough. It was a great fight on paper. Both undefeated, both young, both in their prime, both wanted it, both just nasty, man. You got the Philly style versus Puerto Rican style. It was really good, man. It lived up to it, except for Boots did what I knew Boots to do, and that was demolish him. He dropped him in the first round. The first round, he dropped him. But Xander, to his credit, got up in round 2, and round 3 actually hurt Boots and had him on wobbly legs for a long time there. But Boots rallied in the 4th round, ended up finishing, I believe, in the 6th round, man, with the TKO. And it was an exciting fight. That's what boxing is missing. Boxing is missing young champions who are badass, undefeated, strong, tough, taking risks in their careers. It's so interesting to become a world champion and then say, "But I'm still young, I got a lot to learn." You're a world champion. You're essentially one of the best in the world. So at this point, there is no, I need to learn this. No, get your ass in there and fight. And that's what he did. So nothing but respect. I think that Xander made more fans in losing that fight than he would have picking an easier opponent to fight against. So major shout out to him.
Awesome. And then the next headline we'll tackle is Team Usyk, I believe this past Friday, announced that they have vacated the belts. They're going to let the younger heavyweights, the younger guys, compete for it. He doesn't want to stall the division. He doesn't want to hold it up like older champions of the past have. And he wants one last fight. And the report yesterday on Monday came out that he's either eyeing up Deontay Wilder or Jon Jones for the last fight. Deontay Wilder is 40, turning 41 in October, I believe, and Jon Jones is 38 right now, turning 39 later in July. So 2 older guys, 2 guys his age. I don't know if Jon Jones can actually happen because he's tied up with the UFC. He has fights left on his contract in the UFC. And I know Dana White historically has been super strict about letting guys out of those contracts. And Dana White and Jon Jones are not on good terms right now. So we'll see. But Dana White is like Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob. He likes money. So if it makes enough money, a ridiculous amount of money, maybe he'll make it happen. You know, now that he's vested in Zuffa boxing with Turkey Al-Sheikh, I mean, maybe he will let Jon Jones fight Usyk. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility since Usyk is such a revered and respected champion. And then Jon Jones is the greatest of all time, pound for pound, in my opinion, in MMA's history. So you go arguably the best MMA fighter of all time. And I'm not saying Usyk is, just my opinion he is, but arguably the best of all time in boxing or one of the best. They fight it in boxing. I don't think it's outside the realm of possibilities, but I think the chances are very, very slim just with the contract situation with Jon Jones. Wilder, I think that's a perfect last dance for Usyk. The thing that concerns me as an Usyk guy is that Usyk was just not looking as good as he did, say, 10, 11 months ago against Daniel Dubois. He was just looking a little bit more lethargic in that ring. And I expect Usyk to beat Wilder, but I think there's a greater chance of Wilder landing that shot than there was a year or 2 ago. So what do you think, Kalvin?
No, I definitely agree, man. I think, I ain't going to say I told you so, man, but I kind of called it about Usyk fighting Wilder next, man. And I hope that happens, man, just because Wilder may get one last shot. Usyk gets one last dance partner that he actually takes serious. I don't think he'll take John Jones serious. I mean, to an extent, you know what I mean? Of course, it's still a
Yeah.
fight. I just think because Deontay Wilder, his power is the last thing to leave. I think it'll be more of a challenge for him, and people will tune in more for that fight than the John Jones fight. John Jones is tricky though because John Jones, they say he had the contract Dana White with I'm sorry with
Dana
Dana
White.
Dana White, excuse me, with Dana White, and in that contract, since I know Dana White does a lot of business with Turkey, and so
Yeah.
maybe they can work something out to where it counts towards John Jones UFC fight, even though it's still the same promoter, the same promotion company, so like that. I think Usyk is jiving with the job, right? With
Yeah, he
Turkey.
is. He is.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. So
it was announced that there's a chance that Usyk might do something with Zuffa. Nothing confirmed, but there were
okay,
talks
okay.
about that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So like you said, like you hit it right on the head when you said that don't count it out because not anything too far fetched. As you can see, money talks, especially in boxing and combat sports. Money talks. Oh yeah, yeah. I said so money talks in boxing, and so a lot of people think that the cross promotion will stop them. We just seen Xander versus Boots as a matchroom promotion and the top rank promotion coming together. Cause money talking end of the day. So I don't think that'll be an issue with John Jones fighting. I just hope it's Deontay Wilder.
yeah, which fight do you think's bigger? Just solely talking about pay-per-view sales or eyeballs. What do you think's bigger?
I think Watt will be bigger only because it is because trying to promote John Jones in a boxing event with no prior boxing experience, that's gonna be difficult. And it worked with Rico because Rico is apparently a big superstar across over there. You know what I mean? Across the
Yeah.
half of the world, so people respecting him more. That's why the fight wasn't in the sake of people don't know who the hell Rico is, but we know John Jones from over here from UFC, and it's not like how it was with Conor McGregor where he was kind of up here on his pedestal, and then Floyd
Yeah.
Mayweather was here. They can cross promote that. This is a little more difficult in my opinion. I think Wilder would be the better choice for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to take the other route. I think that John Jones, you can pin it as GOAT versus GOAT. I mean, whether you like it or not, you could pin it, and that can be your marketing brand. And it just once in a lifetime, larger than ever, two superstars, two guys at the top of their sport, all time, Mount Rushmore's potentially going at it. I think the marketing's there, but I think Wilder's more likely. And if it's in Vegas, I'm going to try going out to that fight if it does happen. But I think both guys are super interesting options. I think Usyk beats both of them. I think Usyk would beat Wilder. There would be a very slim chance, but the chance is greater than it was just about a year ago if he shows up like he did against Rico. And now we got to talk
Yeah.
about Rico a little bit. And actually, before we do that, Kalvin, Usyk, Wilder, what do you think that's looking like once they step in the ring? Then we'll go to Rico.
Oh yeah, man. I think Usyk gonna pull it off. But I think Wilder gonna always have that puncher's chance. I think he'll make it interesting for a long time. But Usyk just too technical. He done been in the ring with bigger guys than Tyson Fury and then took bigger shots. I have Usyk by decision. Maybe late stoppage.
Sure. So now pivoting to Rico, since Usyk is not going to be rematching against Rico, the question begs, like, what's next for Rico Verhoeven? Because to me, he is now a superstar after his performance against Usyk. He gained a lot of fans. He was already arguably the greatest heavyweight kickboxer of all time. So he had the clout there. And then he comes over to boxing and puts on a fantastic performance against Usyk on a super bright, super unique stage where, for me, I think Rico is an absolute problem. And I'm curious to see what's next for him. What I think is next for him is Agit Kabayel, because Usyk, Rico, that was for the WBC belt. Usyk vacated that WBC belt, and now Agit was just given it. So I think it makes sense for Rico and Agit, whatever, Kabayel. I think for them to solve it, settle it in the ring, I think that makes the most sense. If Rico was game to fight Usyk, the number one guy, why would you not go to the next best guy or a top five guy? You don't need to go way down the list. I think that fight makes a ton of sense. Maybe Francis Ngannou, but I think that fight would be like too much risk, not enough reward. He would get paid well, but let's say he loses to Ngannou. That just kills his selling and his draw power. Right now, while he's young, like he's 37. When I say young, like he only has so much time to be where he is right now. So I would go for the hardest challenge right away. I wouldn't take any tune-ups, any warm-ups, because you're trying to build experience, but you're also fighting Father Time at the same time. So it's an interesting thing. I go after Caballel for the belt. That'd be my next pick. What do you think he's going to do? What do you think would be best for him?
Man, it may be an unpopular opinion here, man, but I think Rico's greatest weapon when he fought Usyk was the unknown. You know what I mean? There's no film of him boxing. There's no film of him doing this in boxing. Kickboxing, of course, but as we know, two different sports. And I think with that happened, with him doing almost a full 12-round fight, his X factor, his mystery is out the bag now. And so I think the next person that fights him will do better than Usyk did. You know, of course, with the age and that, but I think more so just you seeing film now. It's like a basketball player who comes out of nowhere just hot on the court. Next season, the team has packages and defensive schemes set up just to stop all that shit. You know what I mean? So now you got to make an adjustment. So I don't see. So I still have, when we do the little power hour, you're gonna see most of the decisions gonna be against Rico and shit, just because I think that it's a lose-lose. You know what I mean? Like, what do people gain for fighting Rico? Like, he's only has one professional boxing match on BoxRec. You know what I mean? And he's not a big sell here in the States. Okay, excuse me, 2. And he's not a huge sell here in the States, right? So, like, what do they get for a guy like Anthony Joshua, who's, let's just say 20-2 or whatever? I know he's better than that. Fighting a guy that's 2-0 or 1-1, excuse me, 1-0-1. Like, what does he get from that? You know what I mean? So I think it's a lose Rico. He lost his dance partner with Usyk. I don't know if he get another shot at the big leagues, but only time will tell.
Yeah, I think he's going to get another shot at the big leagues. We'll agree to disagree there, but I think he has risen to that star power level, and he was set to fight Anthony Joshua before Joshua got in that car accident. Him and Rico, they were in talks to fight, and so yeah, I think Rico elevated his status. If he could land the fight with Usyk before that performance, I don't think there's anyone who he can't land a fight with. It's just, will they be willing to take the risk? Because for me, Rico is really impressive. I thought his performance was great because he did use that element of surprise. He had that unorthodox fighting style. No one knew where he was, what he was going to do, what it was going to look like. And he had the smartest boxer, one of the smartest boxers of all time, in Usyk thrown for a loop. He had Usyk stumped, where it took Usyk until the 11th round to figure it out. But his hands are really, really fast. His conditioning's really good. His first boxing match ever, his conditioning was great. He was getting a little tired at the end there, but I thought he was doing really well. His style, I mean, the film's there, but everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face, man. Usyk could not recalibrate. It took him 11 rounds, so we'll see. He's a massive human being, 6'5", 260 of all muscle. There's barely any fat on that guy, and he is just a freak athlete. He is an athletic guy. If you told him to sprint, jump, lateral quickness, he's a high-level athlete no matter what the sport would be. So Rico, I think, is an absolute problem. And we'll do this power hour right here. I'm going to give you a guy, and then you'll say who you think wins, Rico or the fighter I give you, okay? It'll be a little rapid fire, but you ready to roll?
Let's get it.
All right, Rico versus Jake Paul.
Damn. You stumped me with that one, man. I'm about to give it to Rico just for the size, man.
Rico or Francis Ngannou?
Ooh, give it to Francis.
Damn. Well, then Rico versus Deontay Wilder.
Damn, man. I'm going to go Wilder, man.
Okay. Well, that basically answers all the following ones. I'll ask you, Rico versus Moses Atuma.
Oh, yeah, I got Moses.
Yeah, Moses. Okay, so that basically answers every single one. I'll give everyone my take. Rico versus Jake Paul, I'm going Rico. Rico versus Francis Ngannou, I'm going Rico. Rico versus Deontay Wilder, I'm going Rico. Rico versus Caballel, I'll go Caballel, but I think it's going to be a war. Rico versus Atuma, if it happens soon, I'll go Atuma. Next one, Tyson Fury versus Rico. I'm gonna go Rico. AJ versus Rico. I'm gonna go Rico. Usyk versus Rico. I'm going Usyk in the rematch if they were to fight, but I think it would be a war. I don't think Usyk would get him out of there early. I don't think anyone gets him out of there early. I think it's an absolute dogfight. He is a different beast than Francis Ngannou. I'm telling you, I bought stock in Rico. You guys can revisit this video, but he is a problem for everyone in that heavyweight division. No one's getting an easy night out. That's my take. That's my hot take. That's why the show's called Hot Takes.
That's why it's called Hot Take. I'm telling you right now, my hot take on that is that boxing has a weird way of weeding out people like Rico, man. They just won't get them fights. They'll say, oh, this fell through, and stall them out. Nobody want to fight you, Rico, man. Nobody to fight. Guess you might as well retire. Boxing has a way of doing that, man.
Yeah, if they age him out. I'm saying if he gets a training camp and he fights in the near future, I mean, 18 months from now is a totally different story. But I'm saying if he gets a fight signed in the near future, gets another training camp, I think he's a problem. I think he's really good.
Shit. That's a hot take, man. That's a hot take. I felt the energy on that.
Versus Caballel. I think it's to be him versus Caballel. We'll see what happens. I think it'll be a war. But I think that's a good stopping point for this episode. Let me know if you think I'm way off the mark when it comes to Rico. But I think you're off the mark if you don't agree with me. He is a champion. He's a legend of his sport. He's got that champion winner's mindset. And something else that I find interesting is Deontay Wilder is a kind of a weirdo now. And Rico is a pretty respectful guy. And I think Usyk versus Rico, both guys are super respectful, like just solid guys. I think that was kind of a good last stance. Now you're going to have to deal with like Deontay Wilder being a weirdo and like yelling shit at the press conference. Like it is what it is. But I just think that's something interesting. But thank you guys for making it to the end of the video. And we will see you very soon.